have a huge problem, and Tom Brady should not even be a top 3. He shouldn't be on the first team, the second team, the third team, or the fourth team. Now, Brady is 19th in completion percentage. Kyler Murray is first. Tom Brady is 16th in yards per attempt. Kyler Murray is second. Tom Brady is 8th in QBR. Kyler Murray is third. Kyler Murray has 4 turnovers. Tom Brady has 3 turnovers. I just don't. And the thing, what I'm looking at is that Kyler Murray went to the Rams and not just beat them, they beat them up, beat the brakes off them. The very team that the week before had just beat the brakes off of Tom Brady. So I'm confused. He's 4-0. His team is the number 1 scoring offense, averaging 35 points a game. And we just saw Tom Brady get outplayed in back-to-back weeks. He got outplayed by Matthew Stafford. He got outplayed by Mac Jones. He lost the first one, won the second one, but he got outplayed. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And so for me, when I look at it, and they keep talking about Tom Brady has no turnover-worthy plays. Tom Brady got hit and fumbled the ball against the Atlanta Falcons. He got strip sacked. Is that not a turnover-worthy play? So what is a turnover-worthy play? I hit the guy. The guy fumbles the ball. That's not a turnover-worthy play.
Talking about throws.
He threw the ball into a crowd. Is that not a turnover-worthy play?
It is not.
Why?
And you disqualified it the next day on the show. You sat right there and said, I'm not going to dock him for that one. He just took a shot at the end of the half. You throw a jump ball and hope that Gronk jumps and catches
So in other words, that's a turnover-worthy play because you threw the ball and you put the ball in harm's way.
No, you intentionally put the ball in harm's way.
Skip, if the results are the same, intent only matters to the person that's committing the act.
What is this, a court of law?
Yeah, because that's what I be trying to tell people. Intent only matters to the defendant. The victim is just as hurt or just as dead.
There's no victim here.
Yes, it is. It's Kyler Murray.
It did not matter. It was end of half, fling it up and hope. It's called Hail Mary.
So let me ask you a question. Would they have given him a touchdown had Gronk or Mike Evans caught it? Sure. So in other words, you gave him a touchdown, but you don't want to give him a turnover. Because you're like, he's just throwing it up in hope. I'm confused. But everybody knows, Tom Brady has the most passing yards, but who has the most passing attempts? He doesn't have, he's 19th in completion percentage. Tom Brady's the most accurate. Bing, bing, bing. Somebody, bing, bing, bing. Oh, he's 19th? You mean to tell me there's 18 guys better than Tom Brady in completion percentage?
Tell me when it's my turn, please.
It's your turn.
Shannon Sharpe. Your Brady hate does not become...
There ain't no hate. It's the facts. Just facts.
Facts. I just hope our viewers, our dear viewers, can sit back right now and let this sink in, what this man is doing at age 44 or 24. It doesn't really matter. But I'm going to read the quotes from the backup here from Pro Football Focus as they explain why they're saying that he's far and away the best graded quarterback so far through 4 games.
Yeah, I want to hear this one.
What Brady continues to do is not normal. To even be a functioning starting quarterback at 44 is extremely unlikely. Obviously, you would agree with that.
Yes.
But to be the best in the NFL is madness.
But he's not.
It's madness.
Okay, well, give me some numbers.
Brady does not yet have a turnover-worthy play, and he doesn't. And he has only 12 in the time he's been with Bruce Arians, which is a no-risk-it, no-biscuit offense, which is high risk and somewhat high reward. It's medium reward.
That was before the bye week. Once the bye week came, have we been seeing the bombs away just to throw the ball? So is he still number 1 in air distance?
I don't know. I haven't checked that.
But no, he's not.
But he is number 1 in getting rid of the football because it's 2.41 seconds to protect himself and his offensive line, and it works. Everybody can do the same. Everybody can get rid of it in 2.41, but they're just not capable of reading and cutting loose in 2.41 seconds because he's genius. He is the genius speed reader of the ages.
Skip, the reason why is that they diagrammed it, that there's a lot of short throws, there's a lot of crossing route, there's a lot of hitches, there's a lot of things that gets the ball out of his hand. Patrick, the reason why he's so far in yards per attempt is because he's doing what we call shore fishing. He's fishing right there around the edge.
I'm going to show you some longer throws here in just a second.
My homeboy and Kyler Murray, they deep sea fish. Matthew Stafford, they go out to catch the big fish.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up. Let's go to opening night against my Cowboys, who were drastically underrated going into that game. What did he do in the end? He led yet another fourth quarter comeback drive to a walk-off field goal featuring some huge passes, one to Gronk for 20 yards. But let's go to the pass of the game. The throw of the night was 2nd and 10 at the Dallas Cowboy 42. This is crucial. This is only 24 seconds left. Back he drops, and I'd say that's not shore fishing. I think that's a deeper route because that went for 24 yards to Chris Godwin, and that sets up the suck-up walk-off field goal. It's big-time clutch throw because he is the clutchest playmaker I've ever seen in any sport, including Michael Jordan, who just didn't have as many opportunities to be as clutch as Tom has been over 21 years of pro football. It's unbelievable.
Okay.
Then let's go to game 2. It's at home against Atlanta, and all he did was throw for 5 touchdowns, okay? Then let's go to game 3 at Rams. He threw for 432 yards, albeit in a loss.
Albeit empty calories. Go ahead, though.
Empty calories, it was 34-24, and they're onside kicking to even cut it.
Skip, they were down 17 basically the whole game. Stop it.
432 still stands up as the most yards any quarterback this whole season has thrown for in regulation of any of the games we've seen so far. 4-3-2 against a defense you told me it might be the best in pro football, right? 432, I don't care empty calories. I don't care what kind of calories you say they are. High calories, low calories, they're just calories.
So let me ask you a question. Did any of those touchdowns, any of those yards put them in the lead of the ball game? Did they lead at any point in time in the ball game?
No. But again, they were obviously looking ahead as the Rams played their Super Bowl. And Coach McYay is running all over the field, butt slapping and running up in the tunnel. And it's their Super Bowl game while everybody's mind on the Buccaneers is in Foxborough.
So if that was the case, why didn't they play better? Why didn't they score 30 points against the Patriots? If everybody's mind was on the Patriots, if that was their focus, why did they only get 19 points?
That's a great question because I told you, I predicted this, I first guessed it, that Brady would be over-emotional and over-amped in the first quarter. Even you said that on the show the next day. But then when he settled in, can we see the throws that he started to make that were not cashed by his teammates, please? Can we see the first one to Mike Evans? This is a touchdown right here. This is a 6'5" receiver. It hits him right in the hands, if we can see it from the end zone shot. That's a Pro Bowl receiver. That well could have gone right to the end zone. Here's Cameron Brate. That's a 20-yard completion right there. And then here we go again to AB. What a sweet throw. Is that shore fishing? And again, that got called back. You said it's hands to the face, whatever. But here we go to AB. You want to talk about clutch? This is 2 minutes left, and he throws a home run. A rainbow home run to AB, and he just loses it in the lights. He's going to catch that. Then he says, I'm going right back to it, and I'm going to throw a rope to him. I'm going to throw a rocket. You've got to catch this. If you're a former multiple Pro Bowl receiver in Antonio Brown, it's as clutch a throw as you will ever see because that's ball game. That was going to slam the door on Bill Belichick. And he said, okay, if he lost the first one in the lights, I'm going right back to him, and I'm going to throw it a little lower, more on a line. I'm going to throw him a rocket, and I'm going to hit him right in the hands on the back line. You just have to snag it. If those catches get made, if the one penalty is not called, I thought it was just ticky-tack, but if it's not called, he's way over 300 yards, and he still had decent numbers, and he still had a better QBR than Mac Jones did, 55-46. And you said Brady got outplayed. No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. Skip, here's the thing, is that what you try to do, if you look at the Cowboys defense have yet to hold a quarterback under 300 yards passing. So let's disregard them. You talk about the Atlanta Falcons. Everybody throws for 3. Jalen Hurts had 3 touchdowns and 300 yards. Tyler Heineke had 3 touchdowns and 300 yards. So what?
Anybody have 5?
Huh?
5?
Tyler Heineke.
Okay.
The guy that's only in his 3rd NFL start in his career did that.
Or Taylor. Either way.
Taylor Heineke, excuse me. I can't know. My bad.
Okay,
my bad.
He deserves to be called Tyler.
No, he doesn't. Yeah. You keep talking about it, but you go see him up close and personal.
I didn't do it.
You gonna see him up close and personal. He gonna throw for 3 touchdowns against y'all.
Good.
But Skip, what you try to do is that when Tom Brady loses, you put it on when he dropped it. Skip, if I could go back and say, well, Matthew Stafford, and show you throws that he missed Sunday, if he makes this throw right here, they win the game, or he has 400-plus yards. You can't say that, but what you're doing is that the man fumbled the football, and you said that wasn't a turnover-worthy play. He throws a pick. Now, you can't get credit if it's a catches it, it's a touchdown, but it goes the other way, an interception.
You told me the next day it's not a turnover-worthy play. You said that.
No. I said I don't have a problem with him throwing that.
Okay, then it's not turnover-worthy. It's a Hail Mary.
So why throw it?
Okay, wait a second. You could argue every Hail Mary is turnover-worthy.
Yes!
Because you have to risk throwing it up for grabs.
Thank you!
You are literally throwing it up for grabs, hoping that one of your guys wins a jump ball or a tip ball.
Thank you, Skip.
Okay, but it's not turnover-worthy by their grading system because they disqualify it because anybody who does that at the end of the half, you're off the hook.
Well, here's the thing, Skip. You do realize every time you put the ball up in the air is a turnover-worthy play because there's distance between where you're throwing the ball and where the guy's going to catch it. And there's normally defenders on the field. So theoretically, everything can be considered a turnover-worthy play.
Well, if I show you tape of Carson Wentz, he'll throw 6 or 8 a game that you'll say, oh, my God, because that should have been intercepted. That's called a turnover-worthy play.
Skip, there are times that plays should be intercepted. There have been times that plays should be caught. It's called football. But what they're trying to do, I just need to know what criteria, because I'm looking at Kyler Murray's stats. I'm looking at Matthew Stafford numbers. I'm looking at Patrick Mahomes. I mean, think about this. Patrick Mahomes has a bad game if he throws for 3 touchdowns, 360 yards, and a turnover. That's a bad game for Mahomes.
You want to talk about some turnover-worthy plays? Patrick Mahomes is the king of turnover-worthy. He gets away with it because of his arm talent and his moxie and the green light confidence that he gets from his head coach, who encourages him to throw it up for grabs.
Yes,
but he's started to throw them up for grabs, and the defense is catching him. We've seen that regularly over the last few games.
Guess what else he's throwing up for grabs? Touchdown passes, because he leads the NFL in touchdown passes.
Okay, great.
14.
Okay. I predicted before the year Brady is going to win MVP at age 44. And now that Pro Football Focus says Brady is comfortably the best graded quarterback in the NFL through the first 4 games, I would say he's off to the races to win MVP. And he had to work through the emotional roller coaster game that was going back to the house that he built, that he got kicked out of by Daddy.
You would have never allowed LeBron James to use emotions going back to the game if he had lost to Cleveland. You would have never said, wait, the emotion was too big. You would have said Michael Jordan. Tom Brady would have never allowed the emotion of the game to overcome them and play this bad. That's what you would have said, but excuse after excuse for Tom Brady. It's almost like if Tom Brady plays bad, let me try to find a reason why he played bad instead of saying, you know what, he just played bad. But you bring Bruce Arians, you say the defense, you'll say this and that. So Kyler Murray numbers is what they are. He's undefeated, and he beat the team bad. He beat the team badder that beat you bad in their building, something you could not do.
Who predicted that on this show? Who predicted it? I did. You scoffed. You laughed. Stop it.
Who predicted that?
You were riding the Rams. You were driving the Rams bandwagon. I said, Shannon, they're in trouble.
And guess why? And guess who predicted the Rams would beat the brakes off the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? I predicted it. You said Tom Brady's going to get it. Matthew Stafford is not that guy. He's the same guy that was in Detroit. Who predicted it?
So yesterday, you blamed me for sort of starting and furthering the lie that LeBron James is not clutch. And yet every GM in basketball was asked for the annual GM poll to rate who do you want with the ball in their hands to take the last shot. And Kevin Durant was the runaway winner of the category, and LeBron got 0 votes. So 30 said no to LeBron, and it's my fault. Okay, so today you're saying I'm making excuses for Tom Brady and a respected website, Pro Football Focus.
Oh, they respected by who?
Well, they're by a lot of people.
About who?
They're becoming the Bible here.
Yeah, okay.
And they say that he's comfortably the best graded quarterback, and you're saying I'm making excuses. I didn't do this. They did this.
Just Skip. But see, this is what you do. You don't mention I know this. You have yet to mention Tom Brady's QBR. When Tom Brady was number one in QBR for a number of weeks last week, you mentioned it every time. At 43, he's number one in QBR. You have yet to mention Q, B, or R. Like you don't even know a word that starts with Q, or B, or R.
I don't need it.
Why?
Because you just watch him play. Look at the numbers. I only give you the numbers. Game-winning drive against a Dallas Cowboy team that is way better than you thought.
Skip, their defense
you said the Dallas Cowboys were going to be the third best team in the NFC
Let me ask you a question. The Dallas Cowboys defense is ranked. Their pass defense is atrocious. Their total yardage defense is atrocious.
They're sixth against the run. That's all you need to know.
Where's Tom Brady?
This time last year, they were 32nd against the run.
You do realize that the Buccaneers are one of the worst run teams in all of football.
By the end of the year last year, they were one of the better run teams in football with this very same two running backs.
They were middle of the pack. But anyway, to make a long story short, Skip, he's not playing better than Matthew Stafford. He's not playing better than Kyler Murray.
I love Kyler Murray, but you realize they came home after a big win at Tennessee, which then ended up losing to the Jets. They came home, and it took a missed 37-yard field goal by the Minnesota Vikings kicker for them to survive a game in which Kirk Cousins outplayed Kyler in Phoenix.
It took, guess what? It took Tom Brady a missed field goal to survive a game in which Mac Jones just outplayed him Sunday night.
I gave you the QBR. You said I never used QBR. Brady, 55, Mac Jones, 46 in that game. Don't tell me that Tom got outplayed.
Okay.
I just showed you the evidence. I showed you the 5 drop. I showed you 5 passes that should have been a completion that would have gotten him to 350 yards and 2 touchdowns.
How about 2 touchdowns to none? How about better completion percentage? How about more yards?
The best pass of the night was a trick play by the New England Patriots.
I don't get it all.
It was like the all-time dink and dunk night.
No, Skip.
Yeah, what did he complete? I told you the other day, he completed 9 more passes for a grand total of 6 more yards. That's the all-time shore fishing.
What about TDs? How many more TDs did he have than Brady?
Well, he had one. He hit Mike Evans right in the hands.
No, Skip.
He hit AB right in the hands on the back line. There are 2 right there.
No, it's not. So why didn't they have 2 touchdowns in Brady's column?
Drops.
Why didn't they have those 2 touchdowns in Brady's column?
Well, because they got dropped.
Because they weren't touchdowns.
Well, they were great throws.
I promise you, if you asked, hold on. So why didn't the fans, why didn't the players vote Brady number 1 in the top 100?
Brady hate, jealousy, resentment.
At some point in time, Skip, you got to stop this. Because someone doesn't think Brady is depressed, that doesn't mean they're hating him.
I don't know. All I know is last year he took a 7-9 team to the championship. That's impossibly great. And now he's 44, and you have tried to retire him for 5 straight years on the show until this year when you finally said, I'll give him 1 more year.
Oh, you know what? Trent Dilfer did the same thing. Trent Dilfer took an 8-8 team to a championship. And so how hard is it?
But did you say before that year Trent should go home? No, you didn't say that. You said we start 2016, first day of the show.
Nobody wanted Trent.
Okay. Well, how do we get Trent Dilfer in the same conversation?
Because what you're trying to do, because you're making it seem like nobody has ever done what Tom did, and I just told you Trent Dilfer did exactly what Tom Brady did.
He did what?
He led a team that was 8-8 that didn't make the playoff the year before and led them to a Super Bowl the following year.
It was the Baltimore Ravens featuring Ray Lewis and Shannon Sharpe.
So what about Tampa's defense? So Tampa's defense was some trash.
Well, it was the year before until the last 4 games. And then I warned you, the last 4 games, they started to come together. I told you that.
Oh!
Yeah.
So that was Tom Brady, right?
But what was Trent then, like 28?
No, Skip.
Stop it.
Stop using age. All I'm saying is that he has not played the best quarterback thus far. I'm not saying where he will end up. I'm saying through the quarter poll, the first 4 games, I can name 5 quarterbacks that's played better than Tom.
He's got you on the run again.
No, I'm good.
And he's going to rub it in again.
Yeah, we talk about a guy that beat Tom Brady.
Oh, good.
Let's talk about a guy that beat Tom Brady. Beat the brakes off him, too.
Really?
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.